Welcome back to the Frozen Forum podcast. This is season 2, episode 3. We've had 4 games in this past week, and boy, we have a lot to talk about once again. But before we get started, we said we would mention this at the beginning of the next podcast, so here it is. We are doing a giveaway once we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We're currently at 83, so if you're seeing this video, make sure that you subscribe and you leave a like because you'll be entered into the giveaway, and trust me, you will not want to miss it. So we'll just leave it on that. Just make sure you subscribe. And now that we've covered that, Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Nathan. I mean, how can you not be doing good? We get off this big Blue Jays win last night.
That is true. I'm wearing
Big
the Jays
Habs
jersey
win.
once again.
Big Habs win and Jays win on Tuesday night.
What more can you ask for?
Give me something better. Give me something better.
And Savage goes beast mode. Like, it's a storybook. But as Kobe always said, job not finished. Job's not
finished until it's finished, eh? No, I was gonna say Savage there is younger than both of us. What are you doing in your life, Nathan?
I'm scrolling through LinkedIn and Indeed every day, applying to jobs, and Savage is out here going from pitching in front of 300 people to 57,000 people last night. Gosh, this guy.
Well, not only 57,000. I mean, what? Probably 20 million.
And then 20 million watching. Just unreal stuff. Setting a record for the World Series most strikeouts by a rookie pitcher, and the record for the most strikeouts in a single game by any pitcher is 15. He was pretty damn close.
Well, I think he also set the record for most strikeouts in a World Series game without giving up a walk.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Which is, insane. Insane stuff we're seeing. What a time to be alive. Might have a parade in Toronto.
Oh gosh, we're all going to that. If it happens, we're going to that.
Yeah, it depends what day it is, but yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Listen, let's get into the Habs. We come off a week where we win 4 games since the last time we've recorded. Obviously, one of those wins, according to the score sheet, says it's a loss, but it's a win. We'll talk about that in a bit. I want to know, from the last 4 games, we play Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Seattle. This is the Western road trip. Historically, one of the harder stretches of the season for us, right? In a different time zone, playing at different times. It's way harder for us to watch because, Seattle started at 10:30 at night the day after the Blue Jays went to the 18th inning, which was 2:30 in the morning. I've had a great week of sleep, by the way. But
I could imagine.
To talk me through how great these last 4 games were.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just look at these scores. 2 of them go to overtime, but God, this Habs team is an overtime team. If hockey was played 3-on-3 the entire season, the Habs win the Stanley Cup the next 5 seasons, like without a doubt. This team is built for those moments. They're built for having the man advantage. The power play improved over this last week. It did improve because we put Demidov on the first power play line. Already learned his lesson a lot quicker than I was expecting. I think quicker than you were expecting too. So yeah, we're looking at more like a team, even from the coaching coming in as well.
You remember that text I sent you right before the Oilers, or during the Oilers game, was OMG, Demidov is on the power play, right? Is on that first power play unit. I don't think anybody expected it to happen this quickly. Thank goodness it did. I mean, you can link that Seattle win. You can look at the Vancouver win. Both of those come directly because Ivan Demidov is on the power play, and because we're scoring power play goals. Who could have guessed?
Who would have thought?
Definitely nobody that's a fan of the Habs. Now, obviously, it would have been nice to see that power play more against Edmonton. That was never going to happen, apparently. But we come out like we're set up right now in a way like that's perfect. Basically, we've got a power play unit that works. We've got penalty kill units that sometimes work, but are trying to do their job and are getting better. I think, hopefully, right? And more than that, we're dominating at 5-on-5.
Our defense is looking solid. Dobish is playing amazing. Monty should have got the win this week, but we already know what happened. We'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, I'd say we're looking a little bit more for Montembeault, but overall, yeah, this team's looking very, very solid.
I have a feeling we're going to see Monty on Saturday. That's the general consensus around the reporters and stuff like that is that the message to Montembeault was not, oh, we're benching you because you've been bad. It's, hey, you haven't been great, go fix it, and like the crease is still yours, right? Monty's still our first goaltender on this team. But Marty's learned from last year to say, hey, if we've got a really hot goalie and the other person's struggling, go fix, go work on your game, go work on the stuff that you're trying to do. And then when you're feeling better, and we're riding this guy that's very hot. I mean, what, we're 6-0 right now, Dobish. That's when you can bring in the other guy who's been trying to get better. I like the way that we're thinking this year.
And I like that he's coming up against the Senators, because, I mean, the Senators have been doing pretty well this season. And it's not like it'll just be some kind of easy win for Montembeault. He'll have to prove himself. He'll have to show that he still has that first spot, the starting goaltender spot, in my opinion. Yeah, I like this week and how it's set up.
I mean, that Senators team, man, like they're 5-5-1. They've let in 7 goals more than twice this season.
They've also been scoring a lot too.
I mean, they've scored 1 more goal than we have.
They're a team that shoots. I'm not saying their defense is great. They will shoot, and they will be shooting a lot.
No, of course. And Ottawa always plays Montreal better, right? Like this is the great thing with rivalries, with when you have the back and forths. Before we get into any of the games specifically, I want to know who the 3 stars of your week were and why.
Okay, of these past 4 games, my first star, considering he broke the franchise record for the most amount of overtime game winners, Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield is the first star of the week for me. Second, 3 more wins this week, recording 3 more wins, Jakub Dobiš, playing phenomenally. And third, this one was tough. I didn't know if I should give it to Suzuki, but I'm going to give it to Slav. Slav has performed very well. I think he has 2 or 3 goals this week, 2 assists this week. He's just been playing well, proving that he's not just second half Slav or whatever. He's showing up. He's showing up, and he's proving them wrong.
Both half Slav.
Both half Slav, yes.
I like it. I want to put. I mean, who's your honorable mention then for the 3? Is it just Suzuki again?
Suzuki.
Yeah, I want to. For mine, I obviously Caulfield's first. I mean, what, that's 3 goals, was it, through the 4 games, including the overtime winner? Maybe 4. I don't even know.
It was 2 in the Oilers, 2 in the Oilers game, and then 1 against the Kraken. Yeah.
Like Caulfield's obviously first. Like the moments are just so big. That Oilers game, we were completely out of that game, and we score 2 goals within like 40 seconds, and then all of a sudden the game's back tied, right? Like we're there. I definitely agree with that. I want to throw Demidov in as my second star. And not just because I'm insanely biased sometimes towards the Habs rookies, but I mean, Demidov, to me, not only that pass to win it in Calgary to Mike Matheson, it's not only the impact that he's had 5-on-5, because that line was great. I mean, in the Edmonton game, that second or third line, or whatever you're calling that line, was responsible for 3 goals. I think that what he brings to that power play unit, you don't see it. Like, it's really funny. In Seattle, that first power play unit scores a goal, and Demidov doesn't touch the puck, basically. But the only reason the only reason Slav scores that goal in Seattle is because the defenders know Demidov is there and is a threat, and so they have to cover him more. They have to be there. Just his presence makes it easier for the rest of the line to whatever. So I want to send it out to him. He's been really good, obviously, leading the league in rookie scoring right now, 9 points through 11 games. Love what I've seen from him. Third star, I do agree with you. It's got to be like Jakub Dobiš. He's got to be in here. I mean, he played phenomenally in that Flames game. Against Vancouver, you wanted him to be solid, and he was. I mean, I don't think there's any goal. I haven't seen him let in a goal this season that I was like, wow, I think that you should have saved that. The last time I checked, Jakub Dobiš is one of 2 or 3 goaltenders in the NHL that hasn't allowed a goal outside of like the dots. If you make like a semicircle with the dots as being the outside, like he hasn't allowed them. It's all been like tips from inside. It's all been all those high danger scoring chances, which is exactly what you need from your goaltender, right? Is like, if the other team beats you, they beat you, but like they better not beat you because you were doing something stupid,
Yeah. Including preseason this year, he's 8-0 He is just he is on
Well, he's
fire.
undefeated since that mattress commercial that he was in.
Yes, yes. I saw that on Habs Fan TV this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah. Well, let's get into the games. I want before we get into this Edmonton game, and I go off on what I'm going to go off on. But let's get into the Calgary game. 2-1 final in overtime. You watched the game. What were your thoughts? All that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at first the Flames were putting on a damn shooting clinic, and Dobish was standing on his head. I mean, at the end of that game, they had 37 shots, and he only let 1 goal against. Just unreal stuff from him. And we get that power play, and even though we didn't have Demidov on at this time, Bolduc comes through for us. Big way gets us that 1-0 lead. And after that, just the clinic did not stop. They just kept firing. And eventually, they get one in the third to take us to overtime. And then, yeah, like you explained earlier, you see Demidov just be a magnet for the Flames guys, and Matheson's wide open, and he does his job. Yeah. No serious
Exactly.
complaints. Yeah.
I mean, I think the big storyline out of the Calgary game was the fact that we could have been up way more. We could have scored way more goals. Justin Wolf was incredible in the game. Had some insane saves to keep the Calgary Flames in it. And, I look at, from an overall perspective, I look at what the Montreal Canadiens are doing so far this season. We went from being a team that was down, that wouldn't be playing very well, get scored on a few times, come back, go to overtime, win in overtime. And then that Calgary game was really the turning point where you see we're no longer down and coming back. We're now putting in a great amount of pressure. Now it's not showed in the score, right? We don't get the goals that you should be getting. But like over time, if you play exactly like we played at the beginning of that Calgary game, you're going to have great results. And you see that in the Seattle game. You see that in the Vancouver game. I think just Dustin Wolf stopped it from being a blowout. And I thought our defense was very, very solid. I mean, we let in a lot of shots, but the actual expected goals in that game were not.
Yeah, Wolf has been standing on his head for that team, and it's tough for him because they're 2-8-1. And yeah, even in some of his interviews, he's like, I don't know what to tell you guys. I can't generate any offense, but I'm doing what I
can't
can.
score 2 goals.
Yeah, I know. He's playing well, though. Just that team's got to step up for him. Now let's move on to our favorite game of the week, the Montreal Canadiens versus the Edmonton Oilers. Also, shout out to Uncle Ivan. I was on a FaceTime with you to say happy birthday. He is a huge diehard Oilers fan, and they were down 2 goals. This is when they scored those 2 goals in 50 seconds. So that was my gift to him when I was on the call. The Habs tied up. But sure enough, I guess his birthday gift was the Oilers getting all those gifts from the refs. You want to get into that?
Nathan, I get it. In the NHL, if you're not one of the best teams in the NHL, if you're constantly outmatched, you're going to take a lot of penalties. That happens. That happens all the time in the NHL. A great, great display of that is our nice little game against the Chicago Blackhawks, where Chicago is very, very easily the worst team, is clawing at the game, trying to do anything that they can because they're very outmatched along all of their lines. And because of that, they take, 12 penalties against us. Right? Okay. That makes sense, right? You're clawing at the game. I cannot recall a time in my entire life where a team dominates a team. And I don't mean like we were playing, no, dominates. The Edmonton Oilers had absolutely nothing going in the game. They had to split up Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on a line because they couldn't do anything. They weren't generating anything. There was no offense whatsoever for the first 50 minutes of this freaking game. The goals that they scored, they were up 3-1. They were not up 3-1 because they were the better team. They're up 3-1 because our bounces didn't bounce our way and their bounces did. And then Cole Caulfield ties it up. We get that 4-3 goal. We get the 5-3 goal because that's what happens when a team is dominating. They start winning games. And then, somehow the team that is being dominated, the team that is trying to claw its way back, gets 4 more power plays than the team that is dominating.
They got 5 more power plays.
4, I think. It was 5-5-1. 5 penalties for...
No, we got 6 penalties.
I think the Jake Evans one is... like, the game misconducts don't count here.
Okay. Yeah.
But in terms of actual power plays, the Edmonton Oilers had 5 power plays in the game. We had 1. Okay, fine. That's fine. You look at the game, maybe that happens. Obviously, you can put a puck over the glass, whatever. The penalties that they called.
Starts with the slap.
Connor McDavid dove harder than Tim Stützle dives. And that's saying a lot. Like, my goodness. And that was one, right? That one leads to whatever. That one leads to a Josh Anderson penalty because Josh Anderson is slapping his stick on the ice, congratulating the ref for giving the Oilers a goal. Now, should he be doing that normally? No. But why was he doing that, Nathan? Oh, was it maybe because the ref just told the team that he got the call wrong and it was his fault that he called it wrong, and so, oops, sorry, my bad. Oh, but now you're going to make fun of me for it. Well, I was obviously not wrong. I got to call you a penalty now for making fun of me.
Yeah, there's just an officiating problem in sports where it's like, if you criticize the opinion of these officials, you are either, in baseball, you're kicked out. In basketball, you're getting a tech. Here, you're getting an unsportsmanlike calls.
Nathan, it's not even that they're criticizing the opinion of the... It's not even that they're criticizing, right? It's the ref said that he got it wrong. In all of these other sports, these people get kicked out because they're arguing the call, and the refs, the umps, or the whoever it is, they're like, no, I was right. Stop at me, get out. You're out. You're gone. The ref told the team it was my fault. And all of this starts with one of the weakest boarding calls I've ever seen in my life. Boarding. What the hell is boarding? Kirby Dach got boarded harder in the game. Was that called a penalty? No.
Yeah.
You want to know a penalty that was less soft than that Connor McDavid trip that Mike Matheson did or whatever? Which by the way, looking at the replay of that trip, I don't see any stick. I don't see him. He literally toe picked and fell. You want to know a less Lane Hudson in the first period of the hockey game, right before the Oilers score their first goal of the game. Lane Hudson is in the offensive corner. He has the puck away from the boards, and he gets cross-checked in the back. Was that called? He falls down to the ice. Now, when I see the play, I'll admit, I'm a Habs. I'll admit, it was not the hardest cross-check I've ever seen in my life. But Lane Hudson is 5'9". And when you cross-check a guy who's 5'9" and you're 6'3", even if you don't put a lot of pressure on it, that's still a cross-check. When he goes down, he's not going down because he's trying to get a call. He's going down because he's 6'3" and he's 5'9". Like, I've played hockey now, a few semesters of intramural hockey with you guys. I've fallen when I get cross-checked. Is that because, you know what I mean? Because they're bigger than me. Like, what am I supposed to do? Cross-check, not called. Doc, not called. Slavkovsky, worst boarding call I've ever seen in my life. The call on Anderson is
absolutely was the worst. That was the worst.
Buffoonery. This is the thing too. Hear me. If you want to kick Anderson out of the game because he's making fun of you, kick him out of the game. Give him a game misconduct. But to put the Edmonton Oilers on a power play for it, that's a whole other thing, right? And then and then that call, that tripping call, and then the oh my god, and it was one thing after another. I literally did not sleep that night. That game started at what started at 8 o'clock or whatever. I took another 2 hours before I was comfortable to sleep because I was so mad. I was actually like on the brink of losing it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Power play goal, pod calls, and it just the refs. Yeah, they just helped him out with those ridiculous calls. Yeah, the text I was getting from you in the group chat, we were all laughing, but it was understandable. This was just a brutal game of officiating. We've been
dominating hockey. Okay, I want to come back to this idea of dominating hockey games because again, in the NHL, this is what you see is the teams that dominate hockey games are the ones that get more power plays, which makes sense. Conceptually, if you're the better team, the worser team is going to try to live on the edge in order to beat you. That's the only way they can beat you. Because if they play straight up, they're going to lose, right? So they have to live on that edge. And so because of that, they get a lot of penalties called. We dominated these 4 games. All 4 of these games more than 50% of the time, we were the better team. And through this Western road trip, we had 8 less power plays than the opposing teams in 4 games. Like, we're averaging right now 2 extra power plays against us per game. And you can say, people like again, without actually looking at what's being called, you can go and say, hey, the Montreal Canadiens are undisciplined. And then you look at that Edmonton game, and there were people who were Edmonton Oilers fans who said, yeah, that's not a penalty.
Yeah, I know. Even my uncle was like that. It was just a bad game of officiating. It was some homer reffing.
I just want to know how much they get paid, well, what's the deal in the background to get, Edmonton the power play goals or the power plays just in general. And don't get me wrong, like in those situations, can you do much about it? No. Is there an onus on the Montreal Canadiens to figure out how to like have a penalty kill that stops these people? Yeah, right? Like, it's still on us for losing, but imagine how you feel as a player in that moment. Like, how are you supposed to be in that moment and be like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. Like, let's just keep playing hockey. Like,
Well,
you're
even in the
feeling,
post-game interview, like Gallagher got interviewed and he was just talking about, you saw what happened. You saw what happened out there. I'm not even. He mentioned the refs. He just explicitly said that these refs were not.
but you look too at Cole Caulfield, who basically says that the refs won the game for the Edmonton Oilers. And usually in the NHL, when you say that, you get fined. Cole Caulfield didn't get fined.
Yeah,
What
I
does that
mean,
say from the NHL perspective?
they agree. It was obviously biased refing.
And they're not supposed to agree. And what Marty said, I mean, I love Marty Stanley, we obviously, but what Marty said is very true, right? He said, look, at the end of these games, we go back, we review tape. And he said, I hope the NHL does the same.
Yeah,
It's true.
it was blatant. It was obvious. Even they couldn't deny it. They can't find him. They can't find Gallagher. They can't find any of them because it was all true. I swear I saw a video of an Oiler player as well. Unless I'm just making this up, where even he was kind of implying like there was some.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember who it was, but there's a video of somebody saying, oh, we were completely out of it, and then we got a few power plays, and all of a sudden we were all back in the game. It's like,
Yeah, I don't remember who said that, but I'm pretty sure I saw a video.
absolutely ridiculous.
Insane.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Let's just move.
And the best part, the best part from a Habs fan perspective about this, like the thing that can't be distracted from is the fact that we played in Calgary. We played a long game. We played a hard game. We played really well. We skated a lot. We had a back-to-back against the Edmonton Oilers. And by all accounts, deserved to win against the Edmonton Oilers. Like, I mean, historically, it used to be like, oh man, if we lose the first game of a back-to-back, we're definitely losing the second. And if we win the first game of the back, we're definitely losing the second because we got nothing left in the tank. Like we went out there and we dominated the Edmonton Oilers on no days of rest.
Yep. The back-to-back Stanley Cup finalists. Like, who knows if that'll happen again though? They're not looking great. Let's just move on. Game 3 this week. We are against our third Canadian opponent of the week, and I think we can dub this game the Ivan Demidov game because what the heck was that?
What was it? 3 points, I believe. There's a goal. There's 2 assists. Power plays rolling. From what I remember.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look. The Vancouver game, I got scared with a little bit of time left because they pulled their goalie with 4 minutes on the clock or something like that, or 5 minutes on the clock even, and then they score with the goalie pulled, but it turned out not to matter. I mean, we were up 4-2 in the game. We had a great game. We played well. We shut most of their things down. Vancouver, again, this Vancouver Canucks team, I don't know what they're doing, man. Like,
I mean, they were up for over half the game. Patterson to Brusque, and they were up until 5 minutes left in the second. Suzuki gets that one, that first power play goal. Slav gets that second power play. Then Matheson, Demidov, so yeah, 4-2. Then yeah, they did pull really early, and they scored with 4 minutes left. So yeah,
with the empty net,
Yeah.
insane. I mean, it's a good call. You're down 2 goals. You got to get it somehow. If your best guys are rested in that moment, why not? There's no reason not to. I mean, you can look at the Edmonton or the Ottawa Senators and ask them why they shouldn't be pulling the goalie with that much time left in the game. No, I again, the Vancouver game, I think from a holistic perspective, we played really well. I don't think there was anything in there that I was like, wow, we need to be worried about this. It was play our game, play our game, play our game, and good things happen. A fun fact, actually, that game was the only game out of the three that we had the same number of power plays as the other team.
Hmm. That was also the only game that we won in regulation.
Who would have guessed?
I don't know, who'd have thought.
But okay, sorry. Again, so we were talking about that turning point though in the season, right? It's like there are these little turning points, these little ebbs and flows of a season. To me, you take away those penalties that you gift to the Oilers. Take the Vancouver game at face value. Is like these were now games that we're up in, and we're like, for all intents and purposes, we do nothing ourselves to make it easier for the other team to come back in, right?
I'm excited to see
Edmonton's
this Habs team play the Vegas Golden Knights, because in my opinion, they are the standard this season.
I would agree, and I think we would match up very well.
Yeah, I also think that. And we would take advantage of those power plays as long as we stick with what's going on right now.
Look, I mean, that power play unit is absolutely incredible. Demidov. And again, this is the whole thing, right? We talk about this. We've talked about this so much, but why is it so good? Why were we effective? It's because there are threats everywhere. It's because everybody can pass. It's because everybody can shoot. It's like, that's how you make a good power play. It's not hard. I don't know why we overthink this so much in the NHL. It's like, I mean, the reality is most teams don't have 5 threats that they could put out there, right? I go ask the Toronto Maple Leafs what happens when you take Mitch Marner off the power play, right? It's like, it's what happens. You don't have threats anymore. They don't have to defend from. I mean, back in the day, it was you don't have to defend Jonathan Drouin because what was he going to do? He was only going to pass. Okay, well then, here's the net. What are you going to do with it? You're going to pass. Okay, great. Well, we'll play 4-on-4 over here. Like insane. Anyways, let's get into the Seattle game. The Seattle game, we're winning 3-0, and the first 50 minutes of that game were fantastic. We have a little bit of a thing from Jaden Struble, where he gives up a puck, turns into a penalty, turns into a power play goal. Seattle somehow scores another 2 to tie the game up.
Yeah. Yeah, we were dominant and then broke down a little bit in the third. I mean, I was interested in this game to see how the because there's that small rivalry with Slavkovsky and Wright, because everyone thought Wright was going to be the first overall pick that year, and we took Slav instead of him. And I remember him staring down the Habs, but I think we picked Wright. The right player. Not the right player.
Look, after that game, obviously we played really well. We maybe let the foot off the gas a little bit in the third, which allows them to come back. I think you really look at that Jaden Struble play as the turning point as to why Seattle got back in that game. But overall, I mean, we go into overtime. Cole Caulfield wins it again, his 11th overtime winner. He's the fastest NHL player in history to get to 11 game-winning overtime goals.
This guy's 24 years old. What the
He's played less than 300 games in the NHL.
Yeah, I know. It's just insane. Not to mention that was his second goal of the game. Also a dirty little fake wraparound. That was
Insane.
nice. And then
tuck it in.
Jam it in.
Yeah, no. Honestly, great game. I mean, the whole time I was watching the Seattle game, I was dead tired because of that Monday. A Blue Jays 18-inning game. But and it was like 1:00 in the morning by the time this one. It was actually really funny. Before the game, the Habs posted to broadcast the fact that they're playing, and they were like, "Hey guys, don't worry, we won't go 18 tonight." But they basically made it as long as they possibly could because it's it still went to overtime. Well, the whole time I was watching, I was like, "Oh, this game's like, yeah, okay, we're good. Don't worry." I worried a little bit.
I was worried a little bit. Well, I mean, after the first period, I saw those 2 goals. I was exhausted already because I watched the other Blue Jays game again. My goodness, that was such a huge comeback by the Jays, by the way. But yeah, I watched that other game. Then I watched the first period of the Habs game, and I tapped out. I was zonked because Alex and I were at the Rogers Center for the watch party of Game 3. And God, we stayed until 1 a.m. We tapped out after that. Went back. The game was still going on when we got back, and watched the rest of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got home and the game was still going on Monday. It's like I drove all the way home and yeah. After these games, I want to pull up a few stats before we talk about some other things, but I can't remember a time when this was the thing to talk about. Nick Suzuki right now tied for 4th in the league in points. Cole Caulfield tied for 1st in the league in goals. Nick Suzuki leads the league in assists. Jakub Dobiš is 5th in goals against average, 4th in save percentage. From a defenseman perspective, Lane Hutson is 2nd in points, 2nd in assists, just among defensemen.
To Hughes or Makar?
To Makar. Mike Matheson is tied for 2nd in goals among defensemen. Among rookies, Ivan Demidov 1st in points, Oliver Kapanen 4th in points with 7. Rookie goals, Kapanen leads. He's tied for 1st with Emmett Finney with 4 goals. And Demidov leads the assists. Like every single stat category right now. And I pulled up a fun thing. So right now, Ivan Demidov is one of the 2 front runners for the Calder. I think by now it's already a 2-horse race, to be completely honest. It's Demidov versus whatever his name was that was just drafted, Matt Schaefer. Let's say right now it's a totally even split. I don't know if it is, but let's say it is. I look at the Selke race this year with Barkov not being available to win the Selke because he's been the de facto winner of the Selke. Nick Suzuki leads the league in
assists,
goals for percentage. Like, he's been on the ice for 2 goals against in regulation time and like 16 or 17 goals for. Is absolutely insane. I truly believe that this season is a season that Nick Suzuki's Selke caliber defense, while still being an incredible offensive threat, is going to be recognized. I think Ivan Demidov's going to win the Calder. And that would be the first time since 2001 that 2 different Montreal Canadiens players win awards at the award ceremony. I'm putting that out right now. We're 11 games in the season. I think this year it's going to be the first time since 2001. It would also be the first time since 96 or 93 or something. I don't remember. I was looking it up yesterday. A Montreal Canadian wins the Selke and another person on the team wins an award.
Unbelievable. I like both
think
of
it's
those
going to happen.
takes, but I think this is a more important question. Will we win the Atlantic this year? Will we be the top of the division? And is there any world where we win the President's Trophy this year? I was joking about it at the beginning of the season, but we are first in the Atlantic. And
We're tied for first in the league.
We're tied for first in the league. I know we're 11 games in.
Look, it's 11 games in. 11 games, people can say, oh, it's only 11 games. 11 games is more than an eighth of the season. Here's what I'll say on this note. I look at the Atlantic Division this year.
Okay, wait. I need to make this clippable. I'm leaving a marker. Okay, Alex, let me restart. One more question for you. Will the Habs win the Atlantic Division this year? And do they have a real shot of winning the President's Trophy?
I think the Atlantic is wide open. I don't see why the Habs can't win it this year. To me, on paper, they're the best team. And it's just a matter of if they can keep, doing everything that they're doing and putting everything together the way that they've been doing it. And obviously keep people healthy, because that's all obviously a big thing. As for the President's Trophy, it's going to be tough. We're going to look at Vegas and, Edmonton, maybe, if they get their stuff together. The New Jersey Devils, especially. As teams that are going to be front runners for that. But man, if the Atlantic keeps being as bad as they've been being, and we have all of these games against the Atlantic because they're our division, and we can really capitalize on those games, I don't see why both aren't actually in the cards for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think we really, really, really got to take advantage of these power plays, because we only get a handful a game, like we've talked about this whole episode. And having Ivan Demidov is just that key that we need, and we've seen it already.
If you think about last year, right, if you look at the impact that Lane Hutson had on the team, I think you can trace back to early November to early December as the beginning of his real impact, right? He started going on these big point streaks. He started going on these big whatevers. Ivan Demidov is starting in September. Or it's starting in October even, right? He started in September with the preseason. But like, already in October, he is having the kind of impacts that Lane Hutson had on this team in November, December. The thing that makes me most excited about this season is if this is what he's doing in his 13th NHL game. Like, imagine what he's doing in his 50th. Imagine what he's doing in his 70th. It's absolutely incredible. We have one of the best young players in the league in Ivan Demidov. Lane Hudson is still, I mean, like something that can't be overstated. He's on a 5-game point streak. Nick Suzuki's on a 10-game point streak. Cole Caulfield, we were talking about points earlier. Among all leaders in points, I think Cole Caulfield is up there somewhere, right? He's there. He's 22nd, tied for 19th in the league in points. When's the last time that you could say that 3 Montreal Canadiens through 11 games had 10 points or more?
I don't know. Like, I honestly could not tell you. It must be like 2014, maybe 2014.
And more than that, like look at the depth that we have on this team. Like, Alex Newhook is at 8 points. Ivan Demidov's at 9 points through 11. Noah Dobson's at 7. Kapanen's at 7. Gallagher's at 6. Matheson's at 6. Bolduc is at 6. Your Slavkovsky's at 6. Like you got 11 players on the team with more than half a point per game. Like, over a season, that's over 40.
The two I'm the most surprised here by are Newhook and Kapanen. I did not think either of them would be putting up these numbers this year.
I mean, Kapanen's been playing really well, I think, and
yeah, he has.
I mean, his face-off win percentage 51% on the season, which is pretty considerable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just unreal stuff by us. Yeah, I mean, this upcoming week, we have 2 games, it looks like.
Well, it depends when we record.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, this team is just looking great right now. I mean, our power play percentage, 0.1, which is 7th in the league. We score 3.6 goals per game, which is tied for 5th. We are 25th in the league for shots on goal, which is surprising. And yeah, our goals allowed are 3 goals a game, which is tied for 12th. Pretty average, I'd say. And our shooting percentage is 2nd at 14.
I mean, the big thing about the reason that we've been winning games, the reason that shooting percentage is probably higher than you would expect is just because the chances that we've been getting on the shots are way higher. Like, if you look at shooting percentage alone, you go, oh, wow, Montreal is just getting lucky here, right? But the amount of high danger scoring chances we generate in a game, insane. The amount of, like, in the crease plays, the amount of tips, the amount of, like, passes across the crease, those things that are super hard for goalies to save, We're so good at getting all of that stuff together. Can't wait. Listen, before we go to the rest of the NHL, because I want to hear some of your thoughts on that, I wanted to talk about somebody who's not being talked about a lot outside of the Montreal Canadiens right now. Because Habs fans know all about this guy. Have you heard about Ivan Demidov 2.0?
Tell me. It'll probably click once you start talking. What's his name?
Alexander Zarkovsky.
Yes, I've heard of him. Tell me about him, though, because I've just heard his name.
Well, what did I just call him?
Zarkovsky? Alexander Zarkovsky?
No, but I call Ivan Demidov 2.0 guy.
Yeah. I could imagine he's in the K and he's lighting it up.
Not only lighting it up, he's lighting it up more than Ivan Demidov lit it up.
Wow. Is he a prospect for us? My God. Tell me his stats.
Right now, through 12 games with UFA, Olavat Yulev. I don't even think I pronounced that too terribly. That's a team name. He has, through 12 games, they've played 12 games so far in the KHL. He has 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. He's a point per game player. As an 18-year-old, 6'1", 163 as a winger, shoots left like Demidov. He was drafted just in this past draft by us, a second round, 34th overall. Second round pick, Nathan. And this guy is playing with about the same time on ice that Demidov had. He's not getting a lot because he's young. Got 12 points through 12 games.
How do they keep making these picks, man? Like, what is Kent Hughes cooking up?
Fun fact here is Zarkovsky has been friends with Demidov since they were kids. And if you look at that, even better, if you look at that YouTube video that the Habs put out about the draft where they go behind the scenes, there's a clip of Kent Hughes calling Demidov and asking, hey, this Zorofsky guy, what do you think about him? And Demidov says, no, he's great. He's a great guy. Great in the locker room. Great, huge amount of push and drive and all that other stuff that you want. And we picked him. 12 points, 12 games played. Nathan, I'm not going to lie. Right now, the way that I see this team, talking about another prospect, have you seen Michael Hage's stats recently?
No, I can't lie to you. Just too recently, I've been distracted by A, the Blue Jays, and B, this Habs team.
Well, okay. So the big thing with Michigan, with the Michigan team, last year they weren't that great of a team. This year they're supposed to be a wagon, right? Last year with no support beside him, Hage had 34 points in 33 games, including 13 goals. Point per game player, 18-year-old. He's a 19-year-old right now with Michigan. Through 8 games, he has 14 points, including 6 goals. Obviously, a little bit more support around him, but he's coming up. I think Michael Hage will be joining the team at the end of this season, sort of like Cole Caulfield did. You remember Cole Caulfield did his 2 years and came up right in time of the playoffs. I think Hage is on the team by the end of the season. I think Hage, realistic shot at winning the Calder next year. Demidov has a realistic shot of winning the Calder this year. Zorofsky, we would want him to come over this year, but he's got a contract until 20 in the K. But that's okay because he can't win the Calder if Hage wins the Calder. So the year after Hage wins the Calder, Zorofsky comes over. He wins the Calder. We're going to have 5 Calder Trophy winners in a row. Nathan DaCosta.
Has that ever happened?
No, definitely not. I don't think they've had 3. Like I think there's back-to-back in the NHL. I don't think there's ever been 3 in a row.
That'd be unreal.
And mixed in there, even if Hage isn't brilliant next year, right? We also might have Jacob Fowler be on the team next year. And he could win the Calder as a goalie. Posted a shutout, by the way, last night.
Nice. God, this future is just so... It's the brightest in the league.
And David Reinbacher's not injured anymore. He's back on the Laval Rocket.
Nice. You think he's coming up to the Habs this season or what?
We got to see what he does in Laval, man. Like, right now, the big thing to me right now is that Jack-Eye hasn't looked good and Strubble's looked better. I don't know how Montreal wants to play it. I think they want to keep developing Reinbacher in the A. I would not be opposed to bringing him into some games instead of Jack-Eye right now because Jack-Eye's been the weaker link on that team.
Yeah, like I've said multiple episodes before, like the best way to train someone or give him the experience is just get him into the action. Like, let's just see how he does. Can't hurt. Especially if I'm sorry, Arbor, love you, but just bring him in. Like, it's a quick swap. Then we'll see what happens.
We will indeed see what happens. So we're getting close to the end of this episode. I want to know your thoughts on the rest of the NHL right now. Look down the standings. What do you think is the biggest surprise at the moment? What do you think?
In the world did the Pittsburgh Penguins turn the clock back 10 years and Crosby and Malkin are each on like a 6 or 7 point game or a point streak, something like that. Like Malkin has 16 points, Crosby has 15. I'm speechless with this team. They're second in the Metro right now. You know what I think it is? Crosby heard all these rumors of, this old aging team. But I think he went in that locker room, told them what's going on and said, let's show these media guys what we got. And here they are. Here are the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The question for you, can they keep it up?
Yeah, I think they will keep it up. And I think the players around him, these young guys who, they are an older team, but they do have these younger guys. I think they're going to be just playing at a higher level than they would otherwise be capable of because they know Crosby's only here for a bit longer. He doesn't have that many more years in the league. And they want to play with the most well-rounded player of all time. Having him as a captain, I mean, I know I would play far better than I ever would for an entire season. So yeah, I think they can keep it up.
He says he doesn't know about me because there's no hope for my hockey.
No, I said I know you. I know you would too.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you would.
I think I'm maximizing my current abilities at the moment. I leave it all out on the ice there, Nathan. Don't think I have anything left in the tank just because it's intramural hockey. No, I was gonna ask you. So I mean, the big storyline I think right now is just the Atlantic Division overall, right? And you go there are two teams in the Atlantic that are playing over 500. Two teams.
It's
And that's
us and
Montreal and Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit is doing well. Detroit does
Like
not keep that up. Detroit, there's no way.
I don't know. I don't mind Detroit. Like the thing with Detroit is like Dylan Larkin's playing really well, and their team is coming together and playing good hockey. Like I like it. You know, I like what they're doing. Florida's at 500. Like Florida, Ottawa, Toronto are all tied 5-5-1. Like Florida without Barkov.
You know, that team's struggling. And then Kachuk as well. I think Kachuk's gone. Marchand was gone for a few games, but that was for non-injury reasons. Yeah, they are just when you're missing those guys, that's what happens.
I mean, Ottawa has a goalie. I gotta pull this up for you
Allmark?
right now. Linus Allmark. Where is it? Goalie tables. Goals saved above expected. By the way, Montreal right now, Jakub Dobeš is 4th in the league in goals saved above expected at 9.63. Last in the league, Linus Allmark, 8 goals that he should have saved according to this.
Dang, that was the dream.
I mean, Samuel Montembeault is 3rd last at 6.3 goals. 6.63 goals, sorry, saved below expected.
Yeah, but that's significantly skewed because that Edmonton game.
This is true. And you know who's fifth last? The guy who made Primo. It is Caden Primo.
I figured. Did you see him play last night? My God, that was hard to watch.
Oh, yo, the best things I've ever seen this morning on my Twitter page were all of these Leaf fans who were going nuts over how bad Caden Primo was. And all I could think was, hey, we did that too. That used to be us. It's almost like that's why we don't have them anymore. What were you guys thinking?
Yeah, I think he had 1 in every 3 shots went in last night. It was just because I was at Boston Pizza watching the Jays game with my friends, and one singular TV had the Leafs game on, and I look and it's like 6-1.
Yeah. Yep. No, insane game. The other big or interesting team, I guess, right now, the Chicago Blackhawks are playing over 500. They are 15th in the league.
I was gonna ask you, do you think this is the year the Blackhawks can turn it around? I mean, Bedard is looking phenomenal. The San Jose Sharks have that young duo of Celebrini Smith, and then the Blackhawks have this duo of Bedard Nazar, and Nazar looks pretty damn good as well.
I mean, I look at San Jose and Chicago. I think they're very, very similar in terms of where they are in their development phase. If anything, Chicago's maybe a little bit ahead because they have Levchinov. I cannot imagine a scenario where this lasts. Like this is not the year that, like, if anything, this is the year that Chicago's 5th last in the NHL instead of last. You know, like.
So this was us 3 years ago.
2 years ago. I mean, what, we picked 1st overall and then 5th and 5th, right? They went 1st overall, 2nd overall. But the difference was they had nothing there to begin with. So I think Chicago's the timeline is going to be longer because they didn't have a Nick Suzuki, they didn't have a Cole Caulfield on the team already, they didn't have Caden Goalie, they didn't have like all of these other picks that we had made that are still playing, that are still on the team and still doing good things, right? So that's sort of how I see it at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I mean the thing that I can't get my head around right now is like how bad the Atlantic is, like, or has been.
I wonder what the
Like,
odds are right now on Montreal to win the Atlantic.
let's get you to find that out. But while you do, I mean, like, you look at the points right now. Boston's got 10 points through 12 games. Tampa's got 10 and 10. Buffalo's got 10 and 10. The Leafs have 11 and 11. Ottawa's got 11 and 11. Florida's got 11 and 11. Like, you've got literally 6 teams in the Atlantic that are 5 of which are playing out of 500 pace. So what's going on?
Just weak. The Atlantic favorite is, so I'll tell you, Tampa Bay, then Florida, then Toronto, then Montreal at plus 460.
460, though, that's not bad odds. That's way, way higher than I would have thought it would have been. Wow. Because plus 460 basically means we win it once every 5. Right? Is that how I'm supposed to interpret that? Yeah. Crazy. Maybe once every 6, I guess, because it's plus 100. Insane. We're going to keep climbing. Nathan, you look at the schedule we've got coming up. I had it up earlier. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's right here. I mean, we've got Ottawa Saturday, Philly Tuesday, which I don't know what's going on in Philly, by the way. Like that's a no idea. Our big test is going to be next Thursday, which might be after our next podcast, if we're being honest.
Who is it? New Jersey?
That's New Jersey. That'll be a game. The way that we stack up, like I think the big teams I want to know how we play against this year is the New Jersey Devils, Vegas, and Colorado. I think that those are like the three that I'm not saying those are like my favorites for the Stanley Cup either necessarily, because Vegas might be, but those are the teams. The way that they play hockey is very different across the three, and I have no idea how we respond. And so I'm very, very, very interested to know how we do against those teams.
Yeah. I like that take. The Devils have been playing so well. I mean, Hughes has been lighting it up for them as well.
I mean, we're like the Devils. I feel like the entire Devils franchise is just like a perennial. Please, Jack Hughes, don't get injured. Oh, please, Jack Hughes, don't get injured. Like that's the whole team. That's basically all that happens in so fun. What a team. What a time to be a Habs fan, Nathan. What a time. What a time to be a Jays fan too.
What a time to just be a Canadian. Like it's just either a Montreal Canadian or just a Canadian because the Jays, yeah.
Hey, all I'll say, all of these people in Toronto who are trying to say, oh, look, the Blue Jays winning and Vladdy winning in a Leaf jersey and whatever else, breaking the curse. You know what happened in the fall after the Toronto Blue Jays first won a World Series? Well, in the fall after, they won it again. So they won back-to-back. You know what happened in the spring in the middle of those two?
With the Leafs, what happened?
Les Canadiens de Montréal gagné. The first Blue Jays win was in 92. That's the fall of 92. And that year, the season 92-93, the Montreal Canadiens win the Stanley Cup. And the following fall, the Toronto Blue Jays win the World Series back-to-back. History likes to repeat itself, Nathan.
Okay, you convinced me. Habs, Stanley Cup champs.
I'm telling you, like, I'm not even kidding here. The Jays win the World Series, Game 6 or Game 7. I'm putting a bet on the Habs to win the Cup.
I'll do it as well. I'll match it. I will. It's no problem.
Nathan's giving me free reign to decide how much we're putting on this bet. No, that's funny. But I mean,
it could. Anything's possible. I think we've seen it before with this Habs team making it in 2020, 2021. And I mean, this Blue Jays team, this is just a storybook season for them.
Out of curiosity, hold up. If this is 2026, right, what would Montreal have done? So it's 2021, we made the playoffs. It's 5 years. So then I want to know what they did the 88 playoffs. Let me look that up.
Let me give you some other Jays stats. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Ernie Clement are the first Blue Jays duo ever in World Series or in playoff history to each record 25 hits. Ernie Clement has been so damn reliable for this team. He probably leads us in RBIs as well. It's just unbelievable. And then, okay, we got to talk about the beginning of yesterday's game as well. First pitch. This is Davis Schneider's first game in the starting lineup. He is the first batter. This is his first pitch as a starting batter, and he pimps this thing. Went over 400 feet. His family's in the audience going ballistic. The entire crowd's going ballistic. The Rogers Center. Yeah.
His dad is so funny, because they're asking him about, what do you think about your dad wearing those Ray-Ban, like, Facebook Live, the ones with the cameras in it?
Oh, I didn't see this interview.
You didn't see this? You didn't see this? Because every single game, his dad wears these glasses, and it records, like, his reactions and, like, what he's seeing and all that kind of stuff. Hilarious. Like, absolutely, like, so funny.
Yeah, that's so good. And then, yeah, 2 pitches later, Vladdy, I thought I was seeing things. Just rips it again. I thought it was some kind of weird, misconstructed replay, but 2-0 right away. Have you found that stat yet?
Okay, well, I was gonna say, it's 1 year off. Okay, because 1988, so the 97-98 season, which would have been 5 years before 93, I think. Wait, is my math right here? My math might not be right here. Hold on.
Just so you know, we both have math degrees, and we can't figure this out.
Yeah, yeah, okay, wait. So the difference between 2026 and 2021, 5 years, surely. And the difference between 93, if we go back 5 years before that, would have been
98,
88, right?
88, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's 1 year off. It's 1 year off because in 88, Edmonton beat Boston to win the cup. But 4 years before our 93 victory, which was the 88-89 playoffs, the Montreal Canadiens lost in the Stanley Cup final to the Calgary Flames. And 4 years later, went on to win their 24th Stanley Cup. Now, this is some Illuminati type stuff, but before it was to win our 24th, and so 4 years before our 24th, we lost in the finals. Now it would be 5 years after we lost in the finals, trying to win our 25th.
You should make a tweet about this.
And the Blue
Jays
Jays would have won right before. So if the Blue Jays win, it's like basically a lock, Nathan. Like house.
Amen. So the moral of this podcast,
where both of us don't own houses. No, yeah, sorry, keep going.
No, the moral of this podcast is the Blue Jays win tomorrow. Just bet everything you have on the Habs winning the cup.
Essentially, yeah.
Yep. I think that's an excellent place to end this episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of the Frozen Form podcast. For those of you that have made it this far, we really appreciate you. Honestly, let's test something. If you're watching this episode still to this point, just leave a comment in the comment section below that just says cupcake, because it's so random. If you say cupcake, we will know that you've watched to this point in the podcast. And to those of you, thank you very much. Make sure that you subscribe, leave a like, comment, hit that bell notification. We are also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. And yeah, we post on YouTube Shorts every day as well. And like we mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we will be doing that giveaway once we hit 100 subscribers. My mind's moving too fast. I'm just so excited because I know it's going to happen soon. And thank you for watching this episode. We'll be back with you guys next week. Au revoir et bonsoir.